Hey, excuse my hair. I'm taking it down. See, braids. It takes me approximately about 4 or 5 days to get it down. The reason I do it myself is because I don't want nobody pulling my hair. It's thin and it's easily pulled out. Plus, I'm tender-headed. But that's not why I come to you on this particular video. I've been watching what's going on in Ferguson and all the other stuff that's going on, and I wanted to talk to people from a young man's perspective. I'm 32. Thanks, I don't look 32, but thanks. I feel like I feel good for myself. But that's besides the point. I want to be serious. There is a perception in America that we are the land of the free. I mean, according to our constitutional rights, we should be the land of the free. But on a day-to-day basis, we are, as black people, put in positions where we are considered less than human, or not able to get the same treatments that our Constitution says we should have. Yeah, we got a black president. And, I like Obama, but he ain't did shit for us. I stay in a subdivision called Meadow Hills, Huntsville, Alabama. This is as close to, it's quiet right now, kids at school, but this is as close to being in, public housing as you will be. We in Alabama, so we don't have really high-rise housing and people stacked on top of stack. But on an everyday basis, you have on the street over from me, I hear gunshots, juveniles fighting with each other, arguing with each other, and yeah, they generally black, but we don't have much to do. There are some sports here, but there's nothing to push the young black man, because that's where it begins with. Yeah, females, and this is nothing against females, no race, but we are put in a position where I got maybe 10 friends on my hand. 5 of them are in prison. The 3, 4 of them, they can't find a job because they got felonies. And we get felonies for bullshit. Marijuana. Yeah, I understand it's illegal, but is having a blunt worth 3 years of your life? One blunt? Or shoplifting? It's not right. Don't get it twisted. But a white person shoplift, they get probation for a year, 6 months. We shoplift, we may go to prison. More than likely, we're going to prison. More than likely, we get a public defender that swap us out. Swap us out. Oh, we'll let him off this time. Just let us get this guy right here. We've been trying to get him for a minute. Or you got police taking federal probationers and turning them confidential informants without contacting his federal probation. Basically telling him, if you don't say nothing, we won't say nothing. To go set up another black man in another city. I know this firsthand because, I got it out the horse's mouth. But it's so much other stuff. I have a degree in drafting and design. Because I have a felony, one, it's going to be very, very hard for me to get any financial aid to go back to school to try to get a bachelor's degree. 2, I have 2 young kids that I have to work for and try to do other stuff. So, I did my best as far as picking up something that wasn't illegal in order to try to make some money. I'm a photographer, videographer. That's what I do. People see braids and equate our natural hair with something that's derogatory or negative. They equate my skin with something derogatory or negative. I've been on interviews where I can change my voice and I can quote unquote sound white. You can see the reaction in people's face when you get to the interview that they thought you was a white person. And, you know, they'll go through the interview, try to be cordial. They actually talk to you, blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, you get an email or a phone call saying we found a better candidate. What was better about the candidate? I found that, you know, I've been passed over for jobs for people who have less credentials than I do. I don't want to sound like I'm nagging, but it's just a fucked up situation for us, especially as young black men trying to do right. And I understand why a lot of my brothers just don't really give a fuck, because y'all don't give a fuck. And y'all expect us to really care when, you know, it's nothing about the way this runs that says that if I cared, it would change my situation. I meet a lot of young men who feel, for lack of words, hopeless about things changing. And then we in the heart of the South, Huntsville, Alabama. And, you know, as much as they say, you know, slavery is gone and equality is fair, it's not. It's just not. We get pulled over just for being black. Like the other day, I'm going down the Parkway, right? Coming from my house, taking my dogs to school, or going to take my girl back from work. And when I see a police, I have to not move a certain way or they get behind me. Not necessarily saying they're gonna pull me over. Sometimes they look at you and, you know, and just get behind you and follow you, hoping that you make some kind of wrong tremble so they can pull you over. A couple months back, I was coming down Rutledge. It's 3 stop signs coming down Rutledge. Well, 2 stop signs coming up Rutledge from Oakwood before you get to a red light that comes at, what's that, Sparman? Yeah. I stop at the one on top of the hill, and I stop at the one coming down the hill, where there's a police sitting to my right, and I can see him well before I get there. Sitting to my right. So, what would I do? Make sure I stop at this stop sign. As soon as I stop at the stop sign and take off and go back down, he pulls out behind me. Like, what he pulling behind me for? Now, mind you, this police is sitting over there with his car off. Cause I heard the car crank up, lights off. Alright, I get the ticket. I ask him why, and, you know, I tell him, you know, I stopped at the stop sign. He said, no, you didn't. Okay. My word versus his. Then he tells me he has it on tape. I'm like, all right, well, I'll see you in court. We get to court. I asked for the tape. He said we had a technical difficulty getting the tape. So I look at the judge. Judge asking him, you know, what happened with the tape? Because I explained to him that he said he got it on tape, blah, 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 blah. He said we had technical difficulty getting the tape. So I asked the judge, well, you know, ain't they going to throw it out? The judge says, no, you still have to pay a ticket. What do you want? We'll give you driver school instead of throwing out the ticket. We'll give you driver school so that it don't show up on your license. You don't have no evidence. So basically you saying that this man's word, and then he caught him in a lie. Because I can't really explain it to you, but the judge caught him in a lie. He said some more stuff about it. Because we talking in front of the judge. You know, he caught him in a lie. The judge just looks at him when he catches him in a lie. But he kind of sweeps it under the rug, and eventually, you know, I end up having to pay the ticket and going to driver's school. So not only do I have to pay y'all some money, but I got to take time out of my day, which I could be trying to make some money for my family, to come in there and sit in a 4-hour class to keep this from going on my license, so that I don't have a problem driving down the road again. Okay. Now this probation stuff. First, my case was I get pulled over a few blocks from my house without a warrant. They come in my house, find whatever they find. I take the charge for it. Now, I'm telling my lawyer, you know, they didn't have a warrant to come in the house. He's willing to fight with me. But, you know, eventually it got to the point, it's like, they could try to fuck with other people around you in order to get you to accept this probation. Or they can make the sentence, if I get found guilty, they can make the sentence so fucked up that I can't support my family at all. I mean, in my particular case, I could have took it to trial. Yes, I had the right to be able to do that. But I took the probation for the simple fact is, if I took it to trial and lost, they're going to put me in accounting for 3 years. No, I'm not going to prison where I can go do 6-7 months or 6 months and be done with that whole stint. Like the whole I'll be free and clear after that time. They're gonna put me in a courthouse or downtown in basically like a little camp where you on cots with niggas that in there for all kinds of other shit and fucking with you, trying to make you get more time because they mad they done something stupid and got caught up. So they want to, because you're going to have a chance to get out, they're going to fuck with you. So I did the best thing for my thing. But the fucked up part about it is, with Alabama, if you go on probation for a, for a dope charge, you automatically get your license suspended for 6 months. That's automatic. Now why? Because the what was explained to me is that they don't want you having the ability to go buy dope or drive to buy dope, because driving is supposed to be a privilege. But if it's a privilege, why do you have to drive everywhere to go to work? Why do I have to, so how am I supposed to work? Other states have what's known as a working license, where if your license is suspended, you can get a license just to be able to go to work or be able to provide for yourself. Because the point of probation is that you pay them $40, $50, $60, $100 a month to stay out of jail. And you pay fines and fees and all the rest of the stuff. So if y'all want me to come up with these fines, fees every month, and let's say, for instance, my wife, which she works 7 days a week, how am I going to be able to drive back and forth to work if I have my license suspended and I still got to pay y'all every month? Because if I don't pay y'all, I go to jail. Doesn't make sense. There's other stuff. You know, I could talk to y'all all day about this stuff, but I just want to kind of give y'all a thought process. You know, every time I leave, I'm worried about not coming home. And it ain't necessarily the young dumb niggas, as y'all call us, that I have to worry about. It's police hiding us. Niggas that got found on train tracks, beat up by the police and killed. Niggas that men, and let me quit saying niggas, because
I guess I'm baiting into the stereotype. Men, young black men that you couldn't catch doing something, wouldn't tell on somebody if you caught them. Y'all will beat them up, go hide them in a cell for a week, not let them bond out of jail, jack they bond up high so they can't bond out of jail, so that you can't have no evidence. Let them heal up, go down, and then you allow them to bond out of jail or get out. And then the other thing is, when did it become right to, if you have a charge, that your job can see what you went to jail for? Like, I know it's public record, but it didn't used to be like that. Your job can now see that you have an open case. And with Alabama being what we call an at-will state, they can get over here, dude. Let's go. Let's go. At-will state, they can fire you for nothing, basically. So, or not hire you, and they don't have to tell you why. Like, I mean, it's just, the odds are stacked against a young black man. And you expect for us not to be angry. You expect for us to just think that everything's okay. You expect for us to say, all right, we just dealing. And we to be honest, we have dealt with it very well. Very, very well, according to, how we actually really feel. Half my family got records for minor things. Some of them done some shit. Don't get it twisted. A lot of them done some shit. But I done worked since I was 15 years old. Actually, before that, 14 for real. But we ain't gonna talk about that. I wasn't supposed to be working. But I've been working since I was 15. And when I had my daughter, I actually allowed my future wife, or my girlfriend now, hopefully will be my future wife. Hopefully we can make it that far. But I stayed home with the kids to allow her to be able to go back to school. When I could have went back to school at that time. And now she's, I want to say, $50,000 to $70,000 in debt. And when she went back to school, they're changing the program to a new system that will go into effect, supposed to go into effect like October. So basically, she had to come out of pocket another $1,500 to get the training for this, and go to school for another 4 months. That's out of pocket, that we don't have no way of paying for, to be able to make her degree that she's supposed to have got, or her certificate, whatever it is that she's supposed to have got, valid to work in the field that she's going to school for. Now, mind it, she has a job. Like I said, she works 7 days a week, which is making me upset, because I would like to be the one working a little bit more often. I mean, people don't want photography every day, but I have to take the good with the bad with the good, and keep it going. And actually, I'm supposed to be the man, so I'm not supposed to break down. I'm not supposed to feel certain things. And it's hard to talk to your partner about, I guess for lack of a word, feeling stuck and inadequate, and not really having an idea how to change this up. There's no programs to help us. To help us get to a better position. And then, if we try to come up with our own program, they don't want to fund it. If we try to do certain stuff, they don't want to help progress it so that we can help ourselves. Like, we as black people, we don't generally want handouts. We want to be able to help ourselves. We want to be able to have the same rights that everybody else has, the same opportunities that everybody else has, in order to provide for ourselves. But it seems like the way things are set up, it's not available. It's not plausible. It's not
Gonna happen. So it's gonna take for groups and groups and groups and groups and groups of us to come together, to talk, to make a change in order for those changes to happen. Like, I would love to be able to afford insurance on every day for my family, but you gotta have a job to be able to pay for the insurance. And I count photography as a job. Well, not really, because it makes enough to take care of here's and there's, not everyday bills. And I have to, unfortunately, I have to rely on my girl to help me take care of stuff that I feel like I should be able to do by myself. I'm not no dummy. I'm actually a very bright and talented individual. But I am not able to be able to use my talents because every time I go for a job, this felony comes up. Every time I go for an interview, this felony comes up. And I'm serving my time. I haven't been in trouble. I haven't been in trouble since I actually got in trouble. I had one ticket, and it took 2 years for me to go to court. And I've been on probation almost a year now. So in the last 3 years, I haven't gotten in a lick of trouble. But yet and still, I can't get a job. Like, a job that pays decently. I will work at McDonald's. I'm not too good to work at McDonald's, but McDonald's is not going to take care of what I need to take care of. Like, even worth staying in a house where the rent is moderately affordable. There's so much other stuff that has to be taken care of with children and everything, you know, that money got to be paid out regardless if money's coming in or not. So with that being said, this is what I said to the young black man: keep your head up, man. Keep moving forward, keep trying, don't give up. I'm not giving up. Yeah, it's hard, it ain't fair, but our forefathers had it a lot rougher than we had it. We have it. Now, I feel like they're trying to get us back to that state where they put us back into a depressive mode or slavery-ish type situations. Because, you know, when you got private prisons owned by companies to house us, and the government is paying stipends for every prison that's in these private prisons, people getting rich, and they disproportionately stack with black men now, and now black more and more black women as well. It does something to where, you know, we had elders who were able to talk to us right at the end of my generation and before my generation. We had people who were elders who we can go talk to, who we can get advice from, who could school us on how to maneuver through this. My generation and the ones below us don't have that, because a lot of the people my age, a lot of young men my age, been to prison or are in prison. So these younger 19 to 25, well, we're gonna go from 16 to 25-year-old young men don't have people they can go talk to and be able to express some of the concerns they have, or the plights they have, or the questions they have about life and how to move forward and how to maneuver through and how to build things. And, you know, I did, with my church, I did a Stop the Violence concert. We asked all the news companies to come out. Before the church was involved, we did a couple other little things. News wouldn't don't show up unless there's something bad going on. But, you know, when my church got involved, one of the news actually came out. We called for both of them, but only one came out. Why?
Why is it when we actually doing something for our community, y'all don't want to show up? But if something's going on, somebody gets shot, or some kids fighting, or we marching about inequalities, y'all show up with a negative thing. It was one of the young black men from here put it together, a candlelight visual with, you know, some artists from here to sing and rap and different things. Now, this was peaceful. Even the police was there in solidarity with us. And this was about what the police done to the young black man, Michael Brown. Police was there right alongside us. But yet and still, when the news got it, they printed up like we was being hostile and antisocial. Now, the young man that put this together was I think he was a journalist major, BA in journalism. So he respectfully asked for a retraction of the article and have it rewritten. But as of now, I haven't heard of any rewriting of the actual story. We've had a couple marches. Well, you know, I want to say 48 been all right. I don't know really much about what 31's done, but they came out after the fact. They never really came out to the actual events, but after the fact, they documented some of the stuff that was going on. I actually spoke to, I think it was 48. I don't even remember, but they called me an activist. I'm not trying to be an activist. I'm trying to spread awareness that it's going to take us to help us. We can't wait on the government. We can't wait on white people. We can't wait on nothing other than us. What you at, dude? Okay, you don't see that dog. To help us. So I know this is kind of long, and it sounds like I'm kind of jumbling about a lot of stuff, but it's a lot of stuff that we gotta do. Come here, get over here. There's a lot of stuff that we gotta do as a people, and the main thing, we gotta go back to our Father. We gotta go back to what He gave us. We gotta go back to being God's people. He told us, He warned us in that book that if we didn't follow Him, if we didn't take His heed, we will be in situations like where we are not liked just because of who we are. And it's like what He said is actually so true right now. We are the only people that have been scattered across this world without our will. You know, slavery has been a plight throughout history, but we are the only people that has been taken from our land and taken to other lands without our will. Even though we were the first ones traveling everywhere. We are all the way around this world. And a lot of places we start off being in captivity. Slavery. And, you know, I'm done, man. You know, we gotta go back. We gotta actually find God for ourselves. We gotta actually do His work. We gotta actually talk to these kids. We gotta actually teach the word. We gotta actually move it forward. We gotta actually help each other. We gotta come out of depending on somebody else to do something for us. The only entity that can actually do something for us is God. But He told us that we have to be in His word. We have to be going by His laws. And, you know, Jesus said that He wasn't here to abolish the law. He's here to fulfill the law. He's here to take it to the next level, even though He's given a new covenant.
through the blood of Jesus, we are able to be free. And I know with some Muslims and some other, they don't believe in Jesus, but they do believe in the Most High. And they do believe that the Most High has a son. They just didn't believe that the physical person of Jesus is that son. So, with that being said, black men, black women, keep your head up. Don't let materials and money destroy your self-esteem, your will to move forward, or anything of that nature. Keep being strong, keep fighting, keep holding on. Justice for Mike Brown, justice for Trayvon, justice for all the young men and women that have been killed, unarmed, and killed for no reason. All the ones that have been beaten for no reason. I'm not the one to call for revolution, but it's going to take a revolution. And I don't really foresee it being a peaceful. And then I don't think it's going to be not peaceful because we don't want it to be peaceful. I feel like that we're going to be met with so much opposition from people not wanting things to change that it's going to become physical. The people in Gaza fighting against the Jews. I consider myself a Hebrew Israelite, or Israelite, which is Jew and Israelite supposed to be the same, but I can get into that, but we're not gonna go there. Same oppression that's been put on our people across the world are here. And America does a good job of hiding it from the news, or tainting it. So it looks like we are the ones that are actually in the wrong when a lot of times we are the ones in the right. Now I can't say that we don't make bad choices. I can't say that we don't do bad shit, because we do. I'm not saying that, but at the same time I'm saying that people have got to be better. In order for it to be some kind of peace, it has to be equality across the board. And all we want is availability to be equal. And if we can't be equal in your society, let us have our own. Leave us alone. Let us have our own. Stay the fuck out of our business. Alright, y'all. It's been Ando. Ando Photography. If you're looking for any photography needs, please hit my phone. Call me. Inbox me. I appreciate y'all taking the time to listen to me rant. Bye.